Well, hello, traders and investors. I'm L.A. Little, and this is your daily NeoTA wrap, where we take a look at these markets and we do it from a neoclassical perspective. Each time we're looking to see what happened today and what it tells us about the coming ones. We do a show 4 times a week, every Monday through Thursday. It's broadcast at or before 10 o'clock Eastern Time. It's archived on YouTube. It's under the channel L.A. Little. If you want to subscribe, get content notification each time it is pushed, just reach up there and hit the subscribe button. As far as what happened today, we had a little bit of a pullback. S&P down 0.5%. The real beef was on the NASDAQ, the NDX. Folks, this has been the weak spot lately, right? Big cap tech, high PE type stocks getting hit. They hit them again today. Russell down as well. All that good stuff yesterday kind of taken away today. We'll look at that in detail. We thought that might happen, and it looks like it did. HSI pushes up, so Hong Kong 2%, a little over 2%. DAX was up 1%, but the DAX actually has a test failure tonight. We'll look at that. Gold 2.5%, big spike up in gold. That market is bullish. I did a video trade today on it for members. I'm starting to do video trades for members to give them a heads up on what's going on, let them learn how I do what I do and how they can do the same, and then also make some money on the sideline. Bonds up. What we had today essentially was a reversal of what we've had the last 3 days. In other words, everything that was going up the last 3 days goes down today. Everything going down starts going back up. So like bonds, commodities, utilities, those all want to go up. Everything else wants to go down. So a complete reversal. Let's look at the charts and see what we got. We're going to start here with the meat of the matter, and that is the NASDAQ. So let's go back and review what we're doing and what's happening. So the retest regen, what does that mean? You break a swing point low. When you come back to test it, if you're within 6 bars, odds are you're going to try to get to the other side. I've been talking about that last week. What do? We go to the other side, right? And we actually got over it last night. And what did I say? I said, hey, I want to see one more bar to tell me it's real. So in the trading room, I told the members it's like a drunken sailor, right? You get up the next day and you say, what the heck did I spend my money on? And then you say, why? Well, I think that's what happened today. They woke up and said, what the heck did I buy the last 4 days? And why did I buy it? And they started selling some of it. You go over, you go under, you have less volume, right? And you're back into the bar. What does that say? It says you're going to try to dig back down deeper. And just like on the gold video, I've been doing a short on the Qs, a video short on the Qs. At some point, I'll release them to a broader audience, and I'll let you folks know, and y'all can watch them if you want. But keeping members up to date, letting them see how trades unfold. It's the best way to learn. And I think that's the best way to present this stuff to everyone, just like I do here at night with you, but in a more detailed individual trade basis, which you can learn a lot in. That's the NASDAQ, over, under, back into that range. Going to try to push lower. If you look at the NDX, you got the same thing, right? Exact same case. Russell. What does the Russell do? Now, the Russell got over yesterday as well. So if we draw that little baby in, you get the same case, right? Looks almost the same. January 12th bar, I think it was. January 20th bar. You barely got over it yesterday. You're back inside of it today. Now, the only difference here is you didn't go over under. So the Russell is belligerently coming back, but getting pulled back down just as well. If we look overseas, I want to look at the DAX because I was talking last night that the DAX was the most important piece of all of this. And so if we go over and look at it next, what you're going to see there is you're going to see it tested right up into the top and over on the bearish retest regen. So it gets over, gets back underneath. Look at your volume. Volume here, volume there. What does that tell you? That's a test failure. A test failure to get over the highs and hold it. This one's going to try to pull back now. If it pulls back, that probably says the euro is going to actually go up. So let's go look at the euro and see if that's true. And so if I bring that one up, Let's see what the euro looks like, right? You can just follow these like a puzzle. And what is the euro doing? Oh my, the euro is coming right back to the swing point high. What did we say would happen when it got to the swing point high? Let's see, that price point's 108.20. Today you got to 108.29, so you're sitting right on the top of it. You're coming back, you got less volume, and it's pretty hard to have less volume, but it actually has it. I don't pay quite as much, and I've said this before, I don't pay quite as much attention to these ETFs, but honestly, you don't have a lot to work with because Forex gives you no volume. So you have to work with the ETFs to have anything in terms of a clue. But what is it doing? Well, it's coming back to test what? A bullish retest regen. It's more than 6 bars. And so what does that mean? That means that as you come back to test this little guy, more than likely you're not going to get to the other side because it's more than 6 bars, and the probabilities are fairly high that you're going to try to regenerate back up the other way. Knowing that, if this goes up, the European markets, the equity markets, are going to try to go down. That's the setup. You got the test failure today on the German DAX. I suspect tomorrow it's going to try to flip around, head back down, and this one's going to try to flip around and head back the other way. Lastly, if we want to hit the last couple of notes here, over-unders in many of these markets, I'll just show you a couple. We'd already talked about the NDX, the NASDAQ doing over-unders. You also had it on some of these sectors. Remember, you got over the swing point high, the swing point lows high yesterday on the home builders or the construction 2325, gets over it, stays over it. What does it do today? Gets back underneath it. So you get back into the range. And actually, that wasn't an over-under. The biotechs were an over-under today. So biotechs go over, back under, less volume. And you have that in a couple places. Most importantly, for the NDX and for the rest of the tech market, happened on the stocks. If we look over for some of those other things, like the ITB just came back in, and we already saw that on the NASDAQ NDX and the Russell. So you got some pushback on these markets. Looks to me like they're going to try to head back lower. Tomorrow's Friday. It's been a bearish market this year. You got the setup here to take them back down the other way. I suspect that's what we're going to see happen tomorrow. The only question now is how far is it going to go? And I guess Sunday night I'll talk about that a little bit more with you. Talked about that with the members today. I'll share it with you come Sunday. Have a great one. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Good night.